In this video, we're going to talk about what makes a man performative, and specifically answering this specific question: does listening to Claro make a man performative? Now, this is a question myself I've been trying to, I've pondered over and thought of in the past, um, and it's a really hard question. The simple answer is no. It doesn't make you performative. Now, it's the way you listen to Claro that can make you performative. So, if I'm, if I really like Claro, let's say I post Claro on my note and someone messages me saying, yo, that's mad performative. We see what you're doing. Well, I don't see what I'm doing. Okay, I just like Claro, right? Okay, so it's not really performative in that way. But there are people who post in general and make notes, and it can be considered performative in that way. So, is it necessarily performative for me to listen to Clara? No. No, there's people who will, post on the story, you know, talking about some I love Clara. Or, see, if I just post on my note saying I like, or just a Clara song, that's different. If you're posting like every day, like that, has to do, the music taste has to be diverse. At that point, we can't just be so simple at of that aspect where we can't just be specifically talking about Clara on all that stuff. Um, I'm not. I'm sort of talking about some this is my favorite quote. I can't be DMing girls talking about some like when they put maybe some Clara on their note. I'm not gonna be like that's fire. Yeah, that's like okay underground. Junior's not underground though. Okay, Sexy to Someone's not underground. Okay, Claro in general is not underground. Okay, so also if you listen to Claro and you dress up wearing Japanese denim with a flannel T-shirt and you drink matcha, and especially if you have wired earbuds, that increases the number that makes you performative. That increases that ability or what we see people will see out of you. So I think necessarily how you bring yourself upon um, will that can make you performative. In that sense. So to answer the first question we have today, which is the main question, um, is listening to Clara performative? No, unless you do numerous things along with it can make you performative. Yes, but no. The simple answer is no. Now, what makes a man performative in general? Now, we kind of went over this, talking about what you wear, what you listen to, how you bring yourself upon, how you put yourself out there. Um, and some days, I think, shoot, maybe I'm performative. In a little way, I think I might be, just in a tense, but not really like crazy like that, but in a little bit. I mean, in general, for how I act is that's just me, or what I listen to. That's just the music I listen to, and so that makes sense. It's as simple as that in a way. Um, but yeah, so if you wear stuff like Japanese now, especially if you wear a Hollister, man, if you wear a Hollister, that makes you performative. It's true. Um, and so, also, what kind of music you listen to, and I've also, as much as we've seen the rise of the performative man, I think we're seeing a rise in the performative female woman. See, with music wise, a lot of men, they'll listen to something like Leve, BB Doobie, Claro, Faye Webster. Now we're seeing a new rise of, freaking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is in the living room. I don't know if people can hear it, but it's loud. So it'd be funny if it's going to play in the whole background. But I don't have the energy to re-record this all over again. And so once I finish this is it. We're already at the 5 minute mark, so we gotta get this to 10, or else um, that's not good enough. Uh, and so that's kind of what, see, that's what these YouTube videos are for me to just talk and yap the entire time and talk about like stuff. And then sometimes I mumble for a good minute or two, and so I don't know what I'm talking about. Now, where was I? Right, talking about how we we have a new rise of performative women, people who listen to Mac DeMarco and Dave Blunt's. Um, that's a new rise. Not specifically those, but just in general. It's also, I think, the wired earbuds revolutionized between both the male and the female. You know, the man and woman. And this all starts when we were Homo sapiens. Well, we still are Homo sapiens, but this is like, you know, it's when we were in Africa. When the beginning of humanity. You know, so you know, and it's the idea of being performative is to have to try to attract the other gender, the other sex. Um, and so that's kind of where we get performatism from. Also, definitely what you wear. I think fashion can be performative. Music can be performative. How you bring your how you talk can definitely be performative. You know, we can be talking in certain ways and influence people in general, and that can make us performative. You know, so there's not much for us to understand and how culture brings itself upon. See, now I don't even know what I'm saying. Again, this is where I start talking. I don't know what I'm talking about. I think man is performative, women are performative. I think we're all performative in some sort of fashion or some sort of way. I think some are just more, visible to others. Um, I think mainly men who listen to Claro and Baby Doobie and Lady. Um, and also, okay, and I think the main part is when they make it all about them. Like, when it's like, oh, well, this is my personality now. Okay, Leve, Claro, and Baby Doobie, they're not your freaking, they're not you, right? You gotta keep your music diverse. And that was definitely in middle school or the beginning of high school, I felt that was me, right? I think I made, okay, Baby Doobie, Claro, Leve, that's not me. That's being performed, right? We don't want to be performative. And so, I think that's very important to understand. Uh, and so, some people, some people are just trying, they wanna be performative. And also with music, I think you have to learn to diversify what you listen to. When I was in middle or high school, I did listen to a lot of Leve, Claro, and Bibi, but eventually I started. I be right now. I'm a very big R&B music listener. I love Gibby. Gibbion's one of my favorite artists. Um, Brent Faiyaz, um, Kamari, Odile. These are like really good, talented R&B artists, and I also listen to a lot of rap, hip hop. But in general, I listen to a lot of different music. I listen to music from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. We can go so far back behind and ahead, right? And so it honestly doesn't. You can love these artists. You can listen to your music with wired earbuds. You can drink matcha. Go ahead and drink matcha. Go enjoy your matcha. But you can't make it about you. You can't make it the person that's not can't be your personality. Okay, um, and you can't make your seem like a douchebag and like you're better than everyone else. And so, you know, am I performative at times? Yes. Also, I don't think you could be fully, like, as a human being, performative in general. I think that there's aspects that can make you temporarily performative or part-time performative in certain aspects. Where, hey, I'm a little performative in this aspect of my life, but other than that, that's it, really, right? And so it's mainly that. And so, yeah, that was the idea of this video, right? What is performatism? What makes you performative? Can anybody be performative? Yes, anybody can be performative. Do you really want to live that life of being performative? Absolutely not. You kind of want the point of life is to live. You know, you have to try to live life your own way. You have to learn to be yourself. There's an old African proverb that goes, um, if you want to go fast, if you want to go on your own, you can go fast. But if you want to go slow, you got to work together. It's something like that. I honestly don't even remember at this point. It's very very similar to that, but at this point I have no idea what I'm saying anymore. Um, but yeah, that's the point of the video. Um, don't be performative, or just a little bit. You know, everybody wants to live a performative lifestyles, and yeah, thank you. Have a good day. You know, videos coming out every 2 days. You know, so thank you.